Hello all and welcome to All Red Liverpool. Perfect in arneslot's new regime. 3 wins out of 3, 9 points out of 9, 3 clean sheets, 7 goals scored. The transfer window is closed. This is Liverpool's squad for at least the next 5 months, and now it's time to talk about new contracts for Virgil van Dijk, Mo Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is the channel that is all Liverpool all the time. It's all red. Please hit that like button and consider subscribing as we continue to build an amazing Liverpool community here on YouTube. Also, you can become a member. And by the way, we have 2 new members on the show. I'm thrilled. Every time I see this, guys, my heart leaps for joy. John Lee, David Blackshaw, Adrian Silence, thank you both for becoming members of All Red. John Lee, David Blackshaw was on the stream on Sunday, which was a lot of fun, super duper fun, as Liverpool beat Manchester United 3-0. Okay, we got to talk about contracts for Liverpool's big 3 players who are out of contract at the end of the season. So summer of 2025, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Virgil van Dijk, and Mo Salah will all be out of contract. Time is ticking. Time is of the essence for Richard Hughes and Michael Edwards and Arne Slot as, they have some big decisions to make. Now, I'm going to make the case for each player. What should they do with each player? Virgil van Dijk, Mohamed Salah, and Trent Alexander-Arnold. So, I'm going to start first with Virgil van Dijk. And I think Liverpool should re-sign Virgil van Dijk for 2 more years. And I think he should make around $250K a week. I could see that maybe going up to $300K a week. Virgil van Dijk has proven last season and so far this season that he is still one of the best, if not the best, defenders in the Premier League. This guy makes it look super, super easy. Against United on Sunday, he was toying with United's attackers, and it just looked all too easy for the Dutch national guy. Virgil van Dijk has, when you look at a player who is approaching, I think, 33, I'm going to look up his exact birthday here. He's 30, and he's already 33. Virgil van Dijk is already 33, and his birthday is in July. So he just turned 33. And so next summer, they are going to have to say, okay, are we going to sign a 34-year-old to 2 more years? That would take him to 36 by the end of his contract. Now, here's why I think that is a good idea. First of all, Virgil van Dijk has the physical acumen to be the best for at least 2 more years. He has the size. He's got the pace. I mean, he's had pace to spare, speed to spare in his time at Liverpool, obviously. Now, does that mean he's going to remain at the same levels as he continues to get older? Well, no, probably not. But is a 35-year-old Virgil van Dijk better than a 25-year-old new signing? Most likely. I mean, yes, right? Like, how can you disagree with that? Number 2, Virgil van Dijk is the captain of our squad, and I think he's finally showing that he's grown into that role. I don't think he was fully on board with that role, and by that I mean fully comfortable with that role last season. I think when we started to break down, you saw Virgil van Dijk kind of crumble a little bit on the field, maybe off the field a little bit too. Whereas, Jordan Henderson, for all the kind of vitriol that he gets from Liverpool fans after how he left the club, he was a good leader. He would be right on you if you were not playing to your best abilities. He'd be yelling. He was vocal on the pitch. And if Liverpool were to go down a goal or 2, he'd be right there, clapping and saying, "Let's go, guys. Let's get back into it." Virgil van Dijk didn't do that last year. Different player, different style. But I think Virgil van Dijk's captaincy has something to do here with giving him 2 more years. If Virgil van Dijk is not starting every match in 2 years at the end of this new contract, he could still be a very valuable asset with our young defenders coming through. This guy is and has been the best defender in England for the past 4 or 5 years. And really ever since Liverpool signed him. And so you must extend Virgil van Dijk. I think it'd be a tragedy if you decided not to. He makes it look much too easy. All right, the next player we need to talk about is Mohamed Salah. Now, here's what I would recommend for Mohamed Salah. Same deal, 2 more years. Mo Salah has also proven that he is still one of the best. Similar timeline here. Mo Salah is 32, so he's a year younger than Virgil van Dijk. His birthday is in June. So you have to think, all right, at the end of his current contract, you would be signing a 33-year-old for 2 more years. Can Mo Salah do what he's doing now for 2 more years? Absolutely, I think you can. And I think this one is maybe even more of a guarantee than Virgil van Dijk, and here's why. Who has played every minute of football in these first 3 matches for arneslot? It's Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah's fitness must be just off the charts because we've already seen arneslot take precautions with certain players. Probably the most notable one is Trent Alexander-Arnold. He's taken him off in every single of these first 3 matches. Now that could be because Connor Bradley is a really good backup. And arneslot says, well, if I've got a really good backup and there's really no drop-off, then why not, take Trent off and put in someone who's maybe equally as good or very close. But I think it's actually because arneslot has his pulse on each player's fitness. And he knows what each player can handle as far as game time goes. And I think the stats and the data and the tests that they've run on each player over the last 2 months shows that Mo Salah's fitness is just off the charts. And that's why arneslot says, Mo, you're playing 90, you're in there, we're not taking you off. There's really no reason to. And so I think that will go to show that Liverpool should re-sign Mo Salah. I think he's got so much left in the tank. He has looked just like he has over the last 5, 6, 7 years. There's no drop-off here. He just put 2 assists and a goal in against Manchester United at Old Trafford. Like, this guy is still one of the best attackers in the Premier League, and he has been the best attacker in the Premier League since he joined Liverpool. This guy's been absolutely electric. The model of consistency. He doesn't get hurt. He doesn't get injured. This guy needs to stay at Liverpool. He has to. And again, it's one of those deals where, hey, maybe in 2 years when Mo Salah's, close to turning 35, maybe that's, an opportunity for him to mentor or at least, in training for these younger attackers. Somebody like a Ben Doak, if he sticks around, to learn from Mo Salah, to be in training with him every day, to sit behind him and learn the trade from one of the best of all time. So I think it's 2 years for Virg, 2 years for Mo. I don't really care about the wages. I'd say give these guys whatever it takes to get the deal across the line. Mo is currently, I think, making around $350K a week. Just give him that again for 2 years. I think Virgil, $250K a week would maybe be a little bit of an upgrade for him. If he needs $300K to sign, go for it. Go for it. And then we need to talk about one more here, and that is Trent Alexander-Arnold. Here's what I would give Trent. I'd give him 5 years. Absolutely, I would. Trent Alexander-Arnold, again, same thing. He has shown that he is able to play under the arneslot system. I think he has shown that he is one of probably top 3 right backs in the world. And he's shown this season that he can defend. That's the biggest slate that people have against Trent Alexander-Arnold. Oh, he can't defend. He's a terrible defender. Terrible defender. I just don't think that's true. Trent Alexander-Arnold has shown that he is willing to work hard. He's willing to track back. He's willing to do what it takes to succeed. And I think, that this is why I put this picture here. The kiss on the camera. This guy is a Scouser. He loves Liverpool. He grew up watching Steven Gerrard. How sweet was it? I mean, the goal was disallowed. Dang it, man. But for him to go do that, and then the post-game, before it was post-game, when he got taken off, it was smiles, it was clapping. Trent looked happy, and I think this guy is going to stay a Liverpool player for the rest of his meaningful career. So I say 5 years. The kid's 25 years old. He's still, maybe not quite in his prime, which is insane. But you give Trent Alexander 5 years, and I think you give him $300K. And what this does for the rest of your squad is it says, hey, if you perform, if you do what you need to do, and you become the best at your craft, you will be rewarded, and you will be valued by the club. So I think Trent deserves it. I think we need to keep him. He's our vice captain. This guy could and probably should take over from Virgil van Dijk when the time comes. I think he still has a little bit of maturing to do to get to that point. But, give him 2 more years, 3 more years, and I think he will be there. And I think, this is a guy that we need to keep around. Will he be tempted by Madrid? I don't think so. I think we're going to see that Madrid is getting into toxicity era here with just the amount of egos that they have to manage. But we don't care about that. Trent Alexander-Arnold needs to remain a Liverpool player. He's Liverpool through and through, and he is one of the best. I think he's still got some improving to do, which is crazy to say. I think he's going to keep getting better over these next 2 to 3 years as he kind of enters into that prime age of 26, 27, 28. So Trent Alexander needs to stick around. Now, there's a lot of talk about Alisson Becker as well. He's got a contract that runs through 2027, so not really interested in talking about an extension there. Although I do think Alisson could play for another 5 years at Liverpool, just with his abilities. Goalkeepers can play longer, and he's only 31. So that remains to be seen. That's not a priority right now. He's got 3 years essentially left on that contract. So let me know what you think in the comments. Would you give these extensions to Virgil, Mo, and Trent? And we will have a civil discussion there. Once again, guys, please consider subscribing. I think about 87% of you that watch the All Red show, which I am so grateful for. Thank you. But about 87% of you are not subscribers. So it really, really, really helps out the show, helps us to keep doing what we're doing here if you subscribe. And as always, up the rates.
Yeah, of course.